to make sure happens is that you love something.
Build leads and build relationship.
We start all a business from nothing, and we build them up.
Okay, today's question comes from Luke Boyd, and it's directed toward Matt. Matt, Luke wants to know, what's your ritual for brainstorming new headlines? Copy.
You know, the headline should really be the last thing that you do when you create a sales letter. It's more important to focus on what's the big idea, what's the lead-in, write your copy, and then you can come back and look at it and figure out what the best headline for what you've written is. Some people might start with headlines to get inspired, and that's cool, but ultimately you want a headline to match, to be harmonized with the big idea. The most important part of writing a successful sales letter is what's the big idea that's in it. You know, what's the core hook that is going to pull people in, you know, maybe educate them, and then logically lead them to your product or your offer or your sales message. That's what you need to brainstorm a lot about. Gary Bencivenga would spend a month, 2 months researching before even writing. So loading up your brain with a lot of material before you start writing is really one of the best strategies. So that means, you know, go to the magazine stand, buy every magazine in your market, read several books about the topic. And sometimes if you're writing a sales letter for an info product, make sure you watch that product maybe once or twice. Eugene Schwartz would read the books that he would write the copy for up to 7 times before even writing a single line of copy. So by researching and really immersing yourself in the product, it becomes easier and easier to find creative ways to highlight the best features in the product. So, you know, load up your brain, let it gel, research, read, all of these things help, and then you come back and it's going to be easy to come up with some interesting headlines. Dave?
You should, one thing, you know, and that something we used to do a lot, Matt, is just brainstorming sessions with partners. If you have a business partner or someone who's interested in the same, you know, who's in the same field as you are, right? Matt and I used to spend a lot of evenings or afternoons, you know, working on different pieces of copy and just brainstorming about it, right? Because there's no right and wrong. It's just a matter of coming up with the most, you know, relevant copy you can get. You know, for one of my things that I do is I drink scotch. You know, I drink 1 or 2 scotches, and I am like, I get so freaking creative, right? So it's kind of, you have to find what works for you. And, you know, after years, I guess, of brainstorming, you get a lot of empty bottles and empty boxes. But, you know, what I do with my empty bottles of scotch, my empty boxes, I fill them up with rocks, and I place them as bookends on my bookshelf. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's one right there. So, good tip. If you're into scotch, try it. It opens the mind. And you know, that's why the monks invented the beer, right? To get higher levels of consciousness. So sometimes just a matter of opening your mind. That was my side note. I don't know anything about copywriting.
But you did hit a great point, and that's, you have a Jedi Council. I mean, you know, Luke Skywalker and Yoda. I mean, you know, the Jedi Council has a lot of power. So what does that mean? It means, you know, be part of masterminds, have other friends that you can talk to, have some accountability buddies. You know, if you have people in your team that have some marketing sense, you know, talking to them about the sales copy, about the sales letter that you're going to write is very powerful. So, you know, sometimes you just get stuck, and just having a conversation with somebody can come up. You can come up with an idea you would have never had on your own.
Right, and sometimes even like reading it to someone who is your target market, and just ask them if they get it. You know, do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? What I'm trying to explain through this sales letter or this copy, and usually you'll be surprised. Usually they give pretty good feedback because they are the consumers. They know how they want to be sold, or they want the kind of information that they want. And more than often doing that, you're going to get some gems that you would have never thought before, because more than often when you're a marketer or a copywriter, sometimes you're on the other side of the fence and you're so into this universe that it's so easy to forget what's on the other side of the fence and get a little bit too technical maybe with the subject matter. So sometimes it's just a matter of asking someone who is your target market, or even a friend who doesn't know much about it, and he can give you some pretty honest feedback, right? So maybe something to consider as well.